Hello everyone, how's everyone tonight? Okay, first of all, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world right now. My name is Dennis. Actually, I'm signing in live from Toronto, Canada. Well, in the middle of February in Toronto, it is cold outside. It's -8 and feels like -14 outside. But actually tonight, we're so lucky we can sit in at our home right now and listen to a live presentation from myself, which is going to maybe this opportunity will going to change your life. Well, first of all, I want to briefly introduce myself. Actually, I'm from Hong Kong, originally from Hong Kong. I immigrated to Canada, Toronto, 26 years ago. When I came to Canada, I work as a mechanical engineer. I'm working in a manufacturing company, a Japanese manufacturing company, for 23 years as an engineering, and then I climb up in the ladder in the corporate, and finally become the managing director of the company. But in the last 4 years, actually, I changed my career path. I changed my career path. Instead of working for somebody else, actually, I start my e-commerce business, which I joined the company, which I'm introduced to you tonight. Okay. After, I want to explain what this company is and why this company will change my life. After that, during the presentation, I will introduce some of my friends in the world, in other countries of the world, and they will also explain and also share their experience about their path in this company. Well, I have prepared some of the presentation. Let me call out my presentation now. Okay. I believe everyone can see a blue screen right now. Presentation start. Okay, so you see Jeunesse. The word is Jeunesse. This company really changed my life. In 2015, actually 4 years ago, one of my friends introduced me about this company. I have my open mind. I was working very long hours on my old job. But after that, I find out that the world is really changing so fast, which I really want to change my career also. Jeunesse, this company is a US-based company, headquartered located in Florida, Orlando. And this company started in 2009, September 9th. Well, what is this really company about? Jeunesse, actually, is a French word. It means youth. But before I step into the company introduction, I want to explain a little bit about what are we living right now, okay? We are living in a global convergence right now. With all our technology, look at now today. I explained it's so cold outside. I can sit in my room right now, in my house, and explain this to a global webinar because of technology of internet. Well, because of the internet technology, now the globalization, the globe is getting so small and small. Well, I know there's many people, participant tonight. They're from Asia, some is from Europe, even some maybe from Australia, New Zealand, around the world. Well, the internet technology making the world is so small, and we can talk to each other that just on a very, very convenient way. Because of this, a lot of new economy starting. Well, such as, right now in a few years ago, we never thought about when we go on, calling a taxi, booking a hotel, everything is related to internet. Even, in a cell phone, on the app, you can call a taxi. Well, we have right now the most hardest company called Uber and also Airbnb. What is this about? This economy is starting, we're doing sharing all our resources together, and we can create a big, giant business out there. Jeunesse is one of that kind of company. Well, Jeunesse, now, who really we are? What are we? From the screen right now, you can see these three gentlemen and ladies. They are our founder. from the left hand side of the screen, we got our chief executive, our CEO, Randy Ray, and the middle is our COO, Wendy Lewis. They are a couple. Actually, what happened is, they are very, very successful business person in US. And they have retired a few times. After they retire, they just feel boring and they're just coming out and try to set up another new company again and try to help a lot of people. Well, Jeunesse is one of the company that they create in 2009, September 9. The reason why they create that, because they really want to redefining the youth. How we define youth, and because of redefining youth, you can see on the right hand side is our Chief Visionary Officer, Scott Lewis. Very young, very talented, and very energetic. He has a lot of knowledge about social media and all that. He grown up in this industry. Because of his, vision. Actually, he's able to brought our company into a very, very new chapter. Well, I explained within 9 years. Now it's stepped into the 10th year. The 9 year from 2009 to now. Actually, the company has already expanded up to 150 plus country. You can see, on the screen right now, a lot of the whole part of the Europe, Asia, North America, South America, Australia, New Zealand, they all our territory right now. The company can actually ship product to those countries directly. Well, and what makes this company so unique? That we have some milestone that the company want to reach is a $1 billion annual sales milestone. Well, Jeunesse, from 2009 when we start up to 2016, actually it's only 6 years times. Our sales can increase from a zero company that up to in 2016 we reach a $1 billion sales. Well, what is this 6 years compared with some conventional company? On the screen, you can see Apple took 6 years to reach $1 billion. Facebook, 6 years also. And Amazon, eBay, and Google, they all are giant, a well-known company right now. Everybody know, but they are taking the similar time to reach $1 billion. That's why Jeunesse is one of our very top company right now that is breaking a lot of record in our industry. The next slide you can see, Jeunesse, from 2016, I say 2016 they hit $1 billion, but since 2016, 2017, 2018, we just announced in 2018 our annual sales is $1.46 billion. So additional to that, actually we are already over $4 billion since 2016, 17, and 18 within 3 years. And why this company can grow so fast? Because we have a very, very reasonable and good compensation plan. We have 6 ways to earn income. After that, also, in the bottom you can see 434. What is that? That is an award that we have received from different industry and different competition that we have been won, and it's still counting. Every day is still counting. Well, what kind of industry are we in? And what kind of industry are we participate? You can see on the screen right now, this is all the product Jeunesse has been carrying on right now. And all this product, we have a system, what we call is YES system. What is YES instead for? YES means Youth Enhancement System. Youth Enhancement System, which means, everything's all the product will have, will be defined in use, and we can and outside in for the anti-aging. We participate in skincare industry, which is $262 billion industry, wellness, weight management, energy drink, hair care, and makeup. All these industry are huge and giant industry, and which, we added up, is very, very big industry, and we have still have a lot of room to grow. You can see on the screen right now is our Jeunesse Scientific, advisory board. From the left-hand side, you can see Dr. Nathan Newman. Actually, he is one of our first scientific Jeunesse Scientific Advisory. Because of him, our founder, Randy, was partnered with Dr. Nathan Newman. Dr. Nathan Newman actually is a very well-known stem cell research doctor in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles. He has his own clinic in Los Angeles. His client is all this, well-known Hollywood celebrity and all that. And in the middle, and the second week, Dr. William Amselak. Dr. William Amselak actually, he has you can see you can watch his video in YouTube, which is called a longevity TV. He actually, used about 10 minutes time on each product. He introduced each product very clear and very brief. Well, tonight we are so lucky that after this presentation, we have another one of our very, very experienced leader. He's going to explain one of our newest product also that in Jeunesse. In the middle, Vincent Jim Popper, Dr. Donna, and also our scientific advisor Christian Dupont. These are very well known in their industry. First of all, I want to introduce is our Luminous Skincare, which is introduced by Dr. Nathan Newman. A very simple skincare line, which have our cleanser, serum, day, night, day cream, night cream. Well, what makes us so unique? Because of Dr. Nathan Newman, in the stem cell research, he found out a lot of a substance called growth factor. This growth factor actually he has been put into our skincare line. What is growth factor? Growth factor actually is something that is a cell to cell, the language between cell to cell, which we can wake up our cell to ask them to wake up to start working again. Because once we're getting older and older, our action of the cell is getting slower and slower. Growth factor actually is one of the language to wake them up. On the screen, you can see one of our pioneer distributor called Winnie. Actually, she was 62 years old at that time. She used the product only on half of her face, very bravely used half of her face. You can see on the screen, actually, it's on the left side of the screen. After she used 10 weeks, she went back to a doctor, the skin doctor. The doctor used a thermoscope, look at under her skin, what her skin has been changed, which find out that there's a lot of collagen start growing on the face, on the side which she used the product, which proves that our growth factor actually really working. The growth factor wake up her cell, ask her cell to start working, and the collagen actually has been, reintroduced to her body. One of our other, flagship product called Reserve. Well, Reserve is one of the super antioxidant powerhouse we call. It has contained with cherry juice, grape extract, aloe vera, pomegranate, green tea, blueberry, and acai berry. These are super antioxidant. But the most important substance what we have in our Reserve in this one small session is called resveratrol. What is resveratrol? Actually, resveratrol is you can find this in the red wine. During the process of the red wine, resveratrol actually can come out, and a lot of research and find out that resveratrol is one of the best antioxidant in the market right now. So one small sachet of this actually contain almost close to 186 bottle of red wine resveratrol in it. And within this few years, resveratrol Reserve, this product actually, can be improve many people's health, many people's, immune system, and that is why, because of super antioxidant. As we all know, during our stress right now, a lot of free radical comes out. How can we, distinguish, how can we put off all this free radical, which is antioxidant is one of the solution. Well, these are our product, very simple product, not much, youth enhancement system. But besides this, what make this company so unique and so fast and can growing so fast? Because this company is go by the word of mouth. Actually, we all trust our friends, our relative, our family who have used this product and they share. People love to share. For example, if I go to a restaurant, I watch a very good movie. What I do right now, I can go on my Facebook account and I can go to a lot of, Instagram to share what I was doing. This is what the human nature is. We share, we love to share. GNS is a market that how we share. Once we use the product, we experience how good the product is. We share with our friends. And because of this sharing, actually we can generate wealth. One of the most important actually attract me, not only the product. And the best product I feel that in GNS is our compensation plan. We have 6 ways to earn income. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going through that very fast right now, very brief. If you have any more questions, go back to the person who invited you to this seminar, in this webinar, and that person can go through more detail with you. The first one we call retail profit. Well, first, retail profit. Well, we love customer. GNS also have 3 types of customer. We have retail customer, preferred customer, and wholesale customer. Well, retail customer is just someone, once you become a distributor or once you join the company will give you a duplicate website right away, which you can access 150 plus country right away. People can go on your website to purchase product on a retail price. The price difference actually is your income, it's your profit. Well, but if some of your friends say, well, instead of retail, I want to have some benefit. If I like to use monthly, what can I do? You can join our preferred customer program. It can get you save 25 off from the retail price right away. Well, otherwise, you can also join as an associate. You can have 40% off retail price right away. Okay, we have 3 types of GNS customer, and the retail profit, you can earn up to 40%. And the next one we call retail sales bonus. Every person who want to join as associate, they have a chance to buy a package from a basic to ambassador platinum in the US. Actually, each country have a different packages, but these packages are only for the first time buyer, and the product price is more discount compared with our wholesale price. So you only have the first time buy, you have this special discount. After some of your friends join as an associate, as a distributor, when they buy this package from your website, what happened? The company will give you a retail sales bonus, which is from a basic $30 up to $500 US. And on the right hand side, you can see something as a CV. What is that stand for? CV means commissionable volume. Well, make it simple, just like points. Just like point system, what we're doing, like we're collecting mileage or we're collecting points from our credit card, rebate. Well, what does these points do? Every transaction we have in the company, each product have a point. What we do, we collect points. This guide us into our third income called team commission. All these points we collect. Once we collect points, wherever you are in the world who join under you as your franchise store, what happens is every transaction they go through, they have points. The points you collect together, if you operate 2 teams, a left team and a right team. If your left team and the right team added together is a 900 point. 900 point. What does it do? The company will automatically count by second, automatically in your e-wallet in our account. In your account, the company will change that 900 points into $35 commission. Well, $35, it doesn't seem a lot, but $35, if you have $135 a day, a month, is about $1,000 US. It really make a lot of change if you have $135 a day. But keep in mind, this $35, all these points, 600 and 300, all these points, not your own spending. The most unique in this GNS compensation plan is we all collect points together. Give you a very quick example. Okay, if you're collecting air miles, You collecting air miles is whatever you own, you spend, you collect the air miles yourself. If you introduce your friend to using that card to collecting air miles, they collecting point what their expense. Well, Jeunesse is different. When you introduce someone, what happens is we all collect point together within this 150 plus country, wherever you are. This one type of commission, you can earn up to $735 a week. A week, if it's turned into over 26,000. A month, have 4 weeks, you can count on it. Calculate that, it's over $100,000 US dollar. This can make a big difference, which I say, this Jeunesse compensation will really change a lot of people's life. The next we call matching bonus. The beautiful for this also, when you introduce a friend, every your friends has a chance to earn a team commission. Once they earn team commission, if your friend is on the level 1, the company will match 20% of it. If they're on the level 2, company will match 15 and up to the 7th level. From the level 4 to level 7 is 5%. And this is unlimited, okay? When you have growing up your team, you can have unlimited level 1 and unlimited level 2, which this kind of income could be exceed than the team commission. Well, the 5th income we call customer acquisition incentive. We can have a chance to increase your first level matching bonus from 20 to 25 and even from 20 to 30%. Well, what this requires, if you have 5 customers a month, doesn't matter, it's a new customer or repeat customer. If you have 5, your first level team matching bonus will increase 5% to 25. If you have 10 customers in 1 month, you increase your first level to 30%. Well, the 6th one is our most people who join this company really want to achieve is we call Diamonds Bonus Pool. The company put aside 3% of the company points, which quarterly they distribute to all our qualified diamond director and above. 3%. You can imagine $1 billion sales of the 3% of the commissionable volume. That is huge, a lot. And actually, every quarterly, you can have that bonus distribute to all the diamonds around the world. Right now, around the world is about over 300 diamonds. You can imagine how big that bonus check going to be, and that is quarterly. Well, beside money, what is all this? Why are we talking about this? What makes this, Jeunesse is a big difference? Timing is everything. You can do part-time or you can do full-time. But, but we're all working together. Jeunesse have award-winning product. Our founder have a heart which really want to help a lot of people to change their life. Our founder, Randy Ray, actually, he started with a very poor family. And he grown up and he worked hard by himself and become a multi-billion dollar billionaire. Now he want to contribute back to the society and help people to change their life. We are right now ranked top 20 already for the direct selling company in the world, and there's a lot of proven system into it. And the company have multi-language support, and also we have fun travel incentive. Like for myself, I joined this company for 4 years. Every year I have a privilege to join a company incentive trip. I went to Mexico, I went to Mediterranean cruise, Dubai, Punta Cana for North America, and the next year and coming May, I'm traveling with over 30 of my partners going to Italy, Rome. Well, this is something that the company really put into the system to recognize everyone. And now is the perfect time, to join Jeunesse. The reason why, Jeunesse has put a lot of effort and is growing very, very fast. In 2018, actually, we have generated our new record of annual sales again, $1.46 billion. Besides this, we do have a lot of leadership, that can demonstrate a leadership that can guide us through all this, what hurdle you have, what problem you have. The leaders are there. We're all living in a new paradigm right now. We have to catch the trend. What the trend is right now is all e-commerce. All the business have to relate to internet. And if about the wellness, it's the health industry. We are living in an aging population. Genes have a cutting edge technology, not only biotechnology, have cutting edge in also this computer technology. We have to leverage our global economy right now. And because of this, for myself, actually, I achieve a lot of my flexible time freedom. I can enjoy my time. I just need to use a phone whenever I have a phone with internet. It's very important. Once I got data, I have internet, I can start doing my business. Well, this is something that, to summarize the whole Genes, it really changed my life in the last 4 years. I can travel a lot of places. In these few years, my distribution network is already expanded over 26, 27 country and region. But the most interesting is all these partners and this country, over 90% of the person I really don't know. Reason why? Because it's the network. I can, from my small network, actually with the sharing, we can leverage all our resource and we accumulate all the resource together and we can generate a very, very big impact. Let me stop sharing this and because of this, I want to introduce some of my friends which I know on this platform. The first one I want to call up is someone that from in Asia, Hong Kong. I want to call Linus. Are you there, Linus?
Hi, Dennis. Good morning.
Hello, Linus. Everyone you can see on the screen, Linus, which is very, very young, energetic, gentleman here. Linus, I know you from this platform, and when first time I see you, wow, what a young gentleman. Why? This anti-aging, nothing to do with you, the product. You really don't need this. Can you tell us a little bit why this company, why this business attract you and to become one of our partners?
Sure. Thank you, Dennis, for the sharing first. Hi, everyone. My name is Linus. So I was born in Hong Kong and studied in Hong Kong before. And after graduating from high school, I went to Australia for small university, majoring in aviation. So my aviation degree is quite popular in Hong Kong because most of the people, teenagers now, are willing to become a commercial pilot in Hong Kong. And I attended flight training in Australia after graduating from uni. So it was inspired by my dad. He is also a aircraft engineer. So I always wanted to be a commercial pilot since I was a child. So after graduating from Australia, I came back to Hong Kong and started preparing for my cadet pilot interview in one of the Hong Kong major airlines. But at the same time, I find that most of the pilots, which is some of my friends, even they have a very stable job in an airline, but they also seeking for an opportunity to start up their side business. So I was wondering why you have such a high salary job, you still looking for another opportunity. From their experience, from their opinion said, because their job they need to due to their job stability, they are wish to find another side business to support their dream, which is becoming a commercial pilot. So while I was looking for a side business, I found that it is very difficult to start our own business in Hong Kong due to the high rental and the competitive very serious in Hong Kong, and I have lack of experience to run a company or just run a cafe, a small business, and lack of networking to start my business. So which turned me down a lot. But while seeking for a way to start up my side business, one of my friends from Australia she studied cookery, hotel management. She told me that there is a way to do your own business with just a phone, and with just $39.95 US dollars, you can expand your business to over 140 countries. I was very amazed while I hear that you can expand your business to 140 countries, because nowadays for business, it's very popular to shop online and shop with your phone. It's very common in our generation. But if the business can expand to 140 countries, it's impossible for us, for me at the time, because Alibaba is just around 40 or 50 countries in the world. So I started to develop this business for 2 years. So now I expanded my business to over 15 countries, and some of them I have never been to. For example, some kind of small country in Europe, and I'm working with the people who have the same vision every day, every minute, and most importantly, I share this opportunity to my dad, which is one of my business partner now. And we would like to share anything about this business or about our family, everything we are enjoy to share now. And I want to share more about this business to some of my friends, some of the teenagers nowadays who already turned down their dream, already I want to inspire this opportunity to more teenagers like me before. So this is what Jeunesse gave me these 2 years.
Wow. This is very amazing. Now you look at it, this Jeunesse, opportunity, you can actually, starting doing business with your dad, with your parents.
Yes.
He is, I think he inspired you to become a pilot, want to become a pilot, but now you inspire him, probably he's going to be your business partner as a side business, and will be a partner with you. Well, within these 2 years, have you been travel with some of your friends to some countries, or where have you been for the incentive trip?
Oh yes, I went to Australia, and I went to Bali with Jeunesse. In Australia, over 6,000 people coming up the city bridge. I have never heard about a company or an organization who can climb up a city bridge over 6,000 people. I think Jeunesse is the biggest company to travel in Sydney. Never before.
Wow. And where are you going later this year?
Yeah, we are going to Switzerland this year with Jeunesse, with some partners. I think this year will be more and more people can join our family, can join our travel. Can join our travel.
Yeah, I heard that we're going to blow out a lot, in Switzerland, and they say it's over 8, maybe up to 10,000 people already who have been qualified. Well, amazingly. So, thank you so much, Linus. Thank you for joining us and have a very good sharing. So, thank you so much. Nice to talk to you again. Okay.
Have a good night.
Good night. Well, after we heard about Linus, I want to switch our camera back into similar to Hong Kong, but this is one of the very beautiful lady. I know her on this platform, and she is very amazing. Let me call her up first. Stella, are you there, Stella?
Hi, good morning, Dennis.
Oh, good evening, Stella. This is Dennis. Oh, nice to see you. Very, very beautiful. Red. Still Chinese New Year, still celebrating, yeah?
Yeah, we are going to have a celebration London by Jeunesse company in Hong Kong later on. So we just dressed up.
I see. Wow. Well, Stella, I know, you've been, after you in Hong Kong, you've been joining a corporate, you've been a corporate, and then you start your own business. Somehow now you're in Jeunesse. Can you share a little bit about your story? What have you been done through, and why you know about Jeunesse and how you joined Jeunesse?
Well, before I started my Jeunesse journey, I used to work for corporate for more than 10 years. and it was a very very stable job. But apart from having a stable job, stable salary, and then it seems like it can't help me to really achieve what I really want to. So and especially with long working hours, it made me really fed up and so tired. And then apart from that, and then I made up my mind and then just quit my job and then looking for something else. So all of a sudden, from a friend of mine, and then we think about, oh, let's run a business. And then we started to run our wedding planning business together. So I think to transform myself from an employee to a self-employed person is totally huge change for myself. And then it's quite challenging because by the time I run my wedding planning business, I just use my own like knowledge, my guts, and also my own experience. I have no coach, no one teach me how to run a business at all. And then I just do it with my passion. And then at the beginning, I feel it is quite challenging because it seems like wedding is necessary for most of the people. They have their partners. So and then I feel like it would be a huge market, but very unfortunately, wedding planner is not really a necessary role for most of the wedding in Hong Kong. And then most of the couple, they would prefer to spend their money on wedding gown, photography, makeup, but not for wedding planner. So we find the business has become more challenging. And then I have to spend a lot of money on doing marketing and promotion in order to get more customers. And even though I have to spend my money to do a wedding fair, and talking about wedding fair is usually to spend like more than like 300,000 Hong Kong dollar per fair. So I feel like my money is just like a bucket of money, and that the speed of pouring it out is not relevant for the speed I'm getting in. So I started to think, what's next for my career? And then very fortunately, I'm very grateful that one of my best friends, we know each other for more than 10 years. And then he started to run his own business in year 2009. And then he also transformed himself from a computer engineer and then to be like a entrepreneur. And then by that time, he just needs someone else to help him to organize his business event and activities. And based on my background, he just asked me to help him. And then for me, I just feel like, okay, maybe wedding is really a niche market, and why not to do corporate events? And that is why I say yes to him to help him with no money, with no pay. I have been helping my friend for like 3 years time, and then I witnessed his business growing from zero, and then in 3 years time, it's a huge change. I saw my friend, he's transformed himself too. He also can achieve his dream, and then his living quality is totally improved a lot. From like 10 years ago, he was just a computer engineer, wearing his uniform, helping his customer to fix the computer and printer. And then in 3 years' time, he became a global entrepreneur, wearing suits and helping people on how to and teach them how to run their own business as well in this market. And my friend, he's the first person who started Jeunesse business in Hong Kong too. And I saw, wow, if he can do that, he has no sales or marketing experience, and he never run business before. If he can do that, and then why not me? So I can do it as well. So that's why I made up my mind to give myself an opportunity, and then to start my journey here.
Wow. I hear you. You know, I know that the person you're talking about is our number one. You're one of our best leader right now in the whole Jeunesse, one of the best leader. And I think he's enjoying, you know, what I little explained, that team commission, the maximum of the team commission, and also great on the team commission, and also for the Diamonds bonus pool. Yeah, I know. You know what? As you truly say, why not me? You know, if he can do it, why not me? Well, I know you have to change. One other question I want to ask you. You start your own business, and now you have in the e-commerce. Actually, it's basically a traditional business and the e-commerce business. How can you switch? You know, from the tradition, you have to do all your own, but now you no need to do all this. You know, how you feel about the difference?
Well, I can tell you that even though when I'm running my own wedding planner business, or even when I'm still an employee working for a perfect company, I used to run everything, to do all the work on my own by myself. It's so tired and so fed up some of the time. And but here in the net, it's very grateful that from our first person here in the net global, Miss Pinpoint, she started out the USGS system, and then in the system there are a lot of tools for us to learn and for us to use to leverage on how to build our business and how to make our business can duplicate in everywhere else. So I feel like right now my time is more relaxed, and then my lifestyle is more relaxed as well, because right now we have a team. I'm not running everything on my own, no matter what kind of issues I have, or even though I have problems, but I got so many support here in this platform. No matter here in locally in Hong Kong or in Australia, or maybe in Canada, in anywhere else, I feel like it is a really big family, and then we help and support each other. We love each other, because by the time we see our partners, our friends, our families here to become successful in this platform, we will be happy as well, no matter we are in the same team or not. So I feel like with the system, it really helped me a lot on and teach me and guide me how to run the business here in the lab. No matter it is a new business model, but I can still run it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Stella, for sharing all this, trick, all this, leveraging is very important in this business, and you can utilize a lot of people, leave all these special things, like product development, administration, everything, leave it to the company who is the professional to do this. What we need to do is just sharing. Okay, this is something that is very good. So thank you so much, Stella. Thank you. Have a nice lunch.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Thank you. See you. Well, after we talk to Linus and Stella, well, another gentleman I want to call out. Oh, he is just amazing. I met him in this platform, and the first time when I see this gentleman, it was give me a shock. Literally, he's speaking Chinese. He's very fluent in Chinese, but somehow, he's also speaking very fluent in English. Well, I want to call out is Sammy. Sammy, are you there?
Yes, I am. Hello, Dennis. Long time no see.
Hello, long time no see. Where are you now?
I'm actually in China, south of Beijing.
Wow, come on! You're originally
hour and a half. Yeah. Originally from Walnut, California, very close
to California. Now you are in China, Beijing, right now.
Yes.
Well, and you're still running Jeunesse and still doing the business. Tell me a little bit. I know you are very great, business person. After what happened, why you joined Jeunesse? Share us a little bit. Share about your story.
Well, my story is very simple. But basically, first, let me say hi to my friends around the globe, wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. That's the nice thing about Jeunesse. You can be anywhere, and any time you are able to pick up and do this business. It doesn't matter where. And like someone said it very well, you can do this business with anyone you want, anyone you don't want. You have a choice. If you are in a traditional business, like Stella put it, you have no choice. You have to just look for them. In this business, you have a choice. That's the nice thing about it. And I also had a traditional business like Stella for many, many years. But Stella, as you know, you've been in that before. In a traditional business, there's an ups and downs, which you have no control. And it could be the environment, could be the economy, could be the people you're dealing with, can make all those changes and make you change and affects your business. I lost my business in 2008, 2009 during the global financial crisis. I was hit by the tsunami and I lost everything. I lost the business and I also had a few bad accounts. So I couldn't continue anymore. So I had to let it go. And it was very tough because I was close to 60 at that time. If I want to do it all over again, I don't have that kind of time. And at that time, during 2008, 2009, if you want to invest, it's a lot of money to invest and too much risk. So I said, forget it. I don't want to go doing the business anymore. But trying to get a job is even more difficult because I have never worked for anybody. So it was tough for some time. And fortunately, like many people say, it's good to have good friends in good places. And I met a friend at a hotel. She invited me to a meeting. I sat down and I looked around. They were all Chinese. So I knew there must be good opportunities there. Otherwise, there would be so many Chinese gathered there. And the presentation they went through is the same thing that you went through. Of course, there's more added to it because since then, a lot of changes have happened with the company. At that time, we were in about 50 or 60 countries. Now, as you said it, we are in over 140 countries and territories. It's amazing. And now we're doing over $1 billion a year. At that time, we were only doing a few $100,000 a year. So it is amazing that the company. So when yes, Dennis, you asked me about my business. When I lost my business, that's when the .com industry just coming up, where people are advertising, providing information on the internet. And when I saw the presentation, I knew this is what I missed, the e-commerce. E-commerce is what I missed. And that was something that I was supposed to follow, and I missed it. Now I had the opportunity to do it all over again with Jeunesse. So I was so happy. I picked up the ball and started to run with it. I'm so happy that I found Jeunesse, that I'm going to stay with it until I cannot do it anymore, because there's no age requirement. It can be as young as Linus and as young as some people in my age. I'll be 70 next year. So I'm enjoying.
Wow, well said. That what you said, you can do this in anywhere. Now you're enjoying your life right now. You're in the other side of the world, the globe right now, and you're still doing the business at the same time.
Yes, yes. There's no limit, no border, and it can be anywhere. Like you said it, all you gotta have is a smartphone. That's all.
Yeah. Well, you say in 2009, because the .com industry, actually at that time, it destroyed your old business. But now you're taking this trend to rebuild your own business again.
Exactly, to rebuild my dream. I want to be able to help more people to change their lives. Like you were saying, this company does change people's lives. And we have seen it. I've witnessed it. A lot of people through Jeunesse, through the platform. And most importantly, we need a good system, and which we have, which was developed unselfishly by Miss Kim, the #1 distributor in this company, and share 20 over years of experience with the USGS system. And we are all enjoying her success, her fruit. And they paved the ways, the leaders like Samson and Yvonne and Patrick. All those people, they paved the way for all of us to walk a little more comfortably and without any hassle. So we are so fortunate. We are so fortunate that we have all these leaders to help us out.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Because of Jeunesse, because of this USGS global system that help us, all these leaders, they walk through, all the problem before. Now they know, how to solve all this question, all this problem. What we need to do is just leverage what their knowledge and try to, they're all very pleased to help us, and we have all this training coming on, that's why, we are so taking it so easy, so simple. You just follow the system and leverage, plug into the system. You can do this.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. So, you just said it, leverage. Okay. Let's continue on to leverage the training and what we have with the system.
Yes. You are so true. Okay, thank you, Sammy.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Once we say goodbye to Sammy, well, as I mentioned before, this presentation, this kind of webinar, we have a weekly. Every week we have this webinar with a different background of people. We explain, will come up to share their story. Of course, followed by this presentation, there will be a training we have very experienced leader that will explain and will train us, do some education, how to run this business and what kind of product we can focus. Tonight, we are very lucky, very honored that we have invited one of our very experienced leader, that he is actually from Malaysia. He can, you're going to introduce us one of the very best product and about our product youth enhancement system, what I explained before, called Yes System. Let me call up, Dr. Julian from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Dr. Julian, are you there?
Hello, Dennis.
Hello, Dr. Julian.
Hi.
Thank you so much tonight, can do this presentation and training for us. I'm looking forward. All your training is very amazing. I heard some of your training before. It just, increased so much my knowledge. And we can always, leverage on your knowledge and we can share this to all our friends. Now, thank you so much. I will pass on to you and for the remaining of this presentation, okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you for the wonderful presentation and amazing sharing from all our three panelists for this evening. Linus, Stella, and actually Sammy as well. Wonderful sharing. Well, as mentioned, my name is Dr. Julian Chua. I'm coming live to you from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Maybe just to give you a little rundown in terms of where I'm coming from. I have been in business now for over 20 years. I've been running my own businesses, traditional businesses for 20 years. I come from an engineering background. That's what I actually obtained my degrees in mechanical engineering and then eventually a PhD in civil engineering from London. But upon returning back to Malaysia, I got into the IT industry because it was the trend at that point in time. So I've been in IT now for over 20 plus years. But as mentioned, I've actually owned and operated my own businesses for the last 20. So I was very blessed to be introduced to Jeunesse over four plus years ago by my beautiful wife, without which I would not have actually looked at this opportunity. But upon doing my due diligence with regards to what this company had to offer, it blew my mind. I knew this company was going to be very successful, and without hesitation, from that point on, I told my wife, it's risk-free. There's nothing for us to lose, but so much for us to gain in the process, that the two of us started in this business over 4 years ago. So today it's history. I'm in this platform. One of the things that initially set me back with regards to really looking at this opportunity, there were two prompts. One is the company, is it real? And the opportunity, is it a real opportunity? And as I already mentioned, that I discovered, there's no other company like Jeunesse that offers this opportunity. So second is my belief that about myself, whether I could be successful in this platform. And as Stella has actually mentioned through one of the stories she shared, the person that actually introduced her to Jeunesse, he's very much like me from a computer background. When I first met him over 4 years ago, I was, really intrigued, because a person like him, very quiet. I'm very, very quiet. I wouldn't be caught doing a webinar like this 4 years ago. And he was already very successful in a platform like this. So I knew there are a lot of people that are very successful in this platform. They're very outgoing, very gregarious. I'm the total opposite. So, but being, having plugged into this platform, this is one of the transformations that we see. That today I can actually come on live to you to actually be able to present. And I thank you for being with me and being with us for today. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you wherever you are. I'd just like to take this opportunity, being the Chinese New Year, it's the last 2 days, to wish you Kong Yu Fat Choi and to wish you health, happiness, and prosperity. But beyond that, let me just start sharing with you the presentation for this evening, for today. So as you can see, Jeunesse is, and I love this slide. I love this particular slide because it sums it up so well. It's Jeunesse, as you know, it's a French word. It means youth in French. So in this platform, I think every one of us, given the opportunity, I'm 52 years young. Given the opportunity, all of us want to remain looking young, right? So Jeunesse gives us the opportunity to look young, but I think more importantly also is to feel young. because wealth, health is our number one wealth that we can have in life. There's no point having all the wealth in the world without health. So this is what I'll actually be covering for this evening, and in particular with focus on a new product that just got recently launched. And the beauty with Jeunesse is not just looking young and feeling young, but more importantly, to live young. And what does it mean to live young? Well, I just want you to think back in your younger days. What was your life like? Was it exciting? Was it full of aspirations and dreams? And I think it was filled with energy. I can imagine when I was young, that was what it was like for me as well. Well, in this platform, it is truly transforming lives around the world. And, you've just heard 3 testimonies, including mine, the 4th, and a little on Dennis's side as well. And we have people from all walks of lives that, their lives are truly being transformed through a platform like Jeunesse. So I urge you to seriously consider this opportunity. Don't miss it, because, one of my biggest regrets is that I never got to see this opportunity earlier. Well, the best news is never too late. So let us move on. Sorry, let me move this out of the way. So Dennis has actually introduced you the Youth Enhancement System. And let's look at it from a business aspect, because if you look at the industry it covers, it's actually in a multi-billion-dollar industry. So the opportunity, the best part is that it's evergreen, because just as long as we have humans in this world, we will always have a need for such products that we have in our Youth Enhancement System. So in particular, why I bring up the Youth Enhancement System is to actually introduce you to actually 3 very new products that just got recently launched. Nara, Reveal, which is for hair. Nara is actually for the production of collagen, and ReVitaBlue. My focus is on 2 supplements, Reserve, which is our number 1 seller in Jeunesse, and ReVitaBlue. No doubt we have other amazing supplements like Finity and AMPM. Mine is specifically for the brain and for optimal brain function. So why do I focus on products? Well, products are very important for the sustainability of any business. So if you know answer me this question: when is the time that any company starts to really hit momentum? When does it really start to grow? So if you look at the tech industry, okay, we are part of the tech industry. So if you look at, smartphones are everywhere today. So if you look at Samsung, if you look at Apple, you look at Huawei, when are these companies really hitting momentum? When are they growing tremendously from strength to strength? Is when they actually release a new product. Okay, it could be a new and enhanced version of, like, say, the S9 that was released last year to the S10 that is going to be released very, very soon on the 20th. So that's when a company hits momentum, whenever there is a new product launch. But more importantly, when there's a new product killer that is going to be launched, just like with the Apple industry, with Apple as a company. It started off with Apple computers. Then they went into iPods. Then they went into iTunes. And then into iPhone. Because with the release of iPhone, it actually has helped the company Apple in itself with its ecosystem to hit that 1 trillion mark last year. And soon after, 5 weeks after, Amazon hit that same mark as well. So it is tech companies that we want to be in. And we want to be in a company that is actually hitting momentum. And why I'm sharing ReVitaBlue is that I want you to build that belief in you that the products that we have here in our youth enhancement system is, at the cutting edge, at the bleeding edge of technology, so that you have the confidence that this is the company that you want to be with, and that these are the products that you want to be sharing with others as well. So let's move forward. So what is health? That's the a very, very important question. Health is actually being in that state of balance. As you can see here, the rocks are being balanced. It's being in that state of balance. And the scientific word for that is homeostasis. Okay? So what does it mean to be in a state of balance? Well, let us look at what causes us to decline in health, and that is cellular loss. So, and what do we need to actually balance the cellular loss is through the health of our cells, existing cells, as well as the renewal of new cells into our body. So we want to balance this cellular loss with renewal of cells. So poor lifestyle, lack of sleep, emotional stress, all these, I'm sure you already are aware, they actually lead to the loss of cells. So healthier lifestyles like having a balanced diet, good nutrition, exercise, stress management, fasting, living in a cleaner environment is very, very important. My wife just shared with me yesterday that in India, due to pollution, lifespan is reduced by 11 years in India due to the air pollution, the poor air quality in India. So what damages cells? Well, as already been explained, oxidative stress, inflammation, and especially chronic inflammation are what leads to all the age-related chronic illnesses that we see in our lifetime, and especially in our older years. But in particular, we're actually seeing all these chronic age-related illnesses happening at a younger age. So the third is actually glycation. And glycation is the sugar levels in our body. So that if there's any one takeaway that you want to take away for today, is that if you can eliminate sugar or at least reduce it, dramatically, that one exercise alone is going to help you live a healthier life. But more importantly as well, the products that we have in reserve, it works on all these three, as already been explained by Dennis, but also with gene methylation, which I will come on to a little later, where in this case, it actually activates anti-aging genes in humans. So let's look at the types of cells that we have in the body, because if we lose these cells, remember, we want to replenish them. So let's look at the different types of cells that we have in our body. Essentially, we have stem cells. They are the master cells in our body. They have no specific function, but their only function is to be able to translate itself or becoming cells of other tissues, like our nerve cells, cardiac cells, muscle cells, and so forth. And this actually are the somatic specialized cells in our body, and there are over 200 of them in the human body, and that comprises and makes up our different organs, our brain, our heart, our muscles, and so forth and so on. So essentially, we have about 40 trillion cells in our body. But we are losing about 50 billion of them every single day through oxidative stress, as already mentioned earlier, inflammation, and glycation. So what do we do when we lose these cells? If we want to maintain health, the key is to actually remain in that state of balance, is to replenish the loss of cells. And don't be overly alarmed. I know 50 billion cells, loss of cells daily sounds like a huge number. But remember, we have 40 trillion cells. But no doubt, in the long run, if we are not sustaining and maintaining and replenishing the loss of cells, 50 billion is going to catch up eventually as well. So we do be aware of that. So how do we replenish the loss of cells? Well, there are essentially two processes. You might recall this word mitosis that we learned in biology in our younger days. Well, this is for all the specialized cells, the somatic cells that I already mentioned. They are like the skin cells, the retina cells, the heart cells, the muscle cells. They all have only one function, right? That is to actually replicate itself and to maintain, like in our case, our skin, the condition of our skin. So what happens is that all these cells, all these somatic cells, they themselves are able to replicate itself, a process called mitosis. However, there's a limit to how many times these cells are able to replicate itself. It's about 40 to 60 times. That's known as the Hayflick's limit. So don't worry about all the technical terms, but essentially it's able to replicate about 40 to 60 times. If our cells are healthier, it'll be able to do it at 60 times. If it's not so healthy, it'll be able to do it maybe at 40 or even fewer times than that. And don't look at this. I know it's not a big difference in terms of numbers, but each cell in itself is able to replicate thousands of cells. So it actually makes a huge difference in terms of billions of cells, in terms of being able to replenish through the process called mitosis. So the beauty with reserve is that it actually helps to maintain and keep our existing somatic cells, our specialized cells, as well as our stem cells healthy. And how it does that, as already mentioned, through being very high in antioxidant, it prevents oxidative stress. It's very high in anti-inflammatory properties as well. And it actually has this key ingredient called resveratrol that fights glycation. It actually keeps a stable level of sugar in the human body. But the best part, as already mentioned, the fourth function that resveratrol does in reserve is that it actually activates the anti-aging genes in human called the Citrulline-1 and the Citrulline-3 genes. These genes are dormant in humans growing up. So if we have the ability to flip that back on, not only do we live longer potentially, but more importantly, to live a healthier life in the process. So the key word for reserve is that it actually defends and keeps all our cells in the human body healthy. So the healthier they are, the more they will be able to replicate through the process called mitosis. And there's another key product called Finity as well. Because remember, Finity is a product that works at the end caps of the human chromosomes. And this end caps is called the telomeres, essentially determines how many times our cells are able to replicate. So this in combination works very, very powerfully. So what is the reserve advantage? Well, I know there are a lot of other products out there that contains resveratrol as well. Well, reserve is one product, and I do not know of any other products in the marketplace that even goes through what is called a CAP-E test. And essentially what it measures is how much of all the antioxidant in reserve, including resveratrol, is able to penetrate into the human cell within the human body. And the bioavailability for reserve is very, very high at over 90%. And the other key selling point about what we have in reserve is that it actually contains a kind of resveratrol called the trans form of resveratrol. There are essentially two types, trans and cis. We want to go for the trans, not for the cis. Cis is not good at all. There's no true benefit from cis resveratrol. So always go for trans. And the best part is that the concentration is very high at 186 milligrams of resveratrol, which is equivalent to the number of resveratrol found in about 180 bottles of red wine. So it's very potent, but the bioavailability is also extremely high. So reserve is our number one seller in Jeunesse, and it actually helps, as I mentioned, to maintain cellular health, both our somatic specialized cells as well as our stem cells. So I do not know of any other product in the marketplace. You know, usually when there are huge international conferences, and in this case, medical conference, it usually would be like, say, cardiovascular, okay, heart related, and people, scientists from various parts of the world, they would gather together to share their experience, their solution, and there can be myriad forms of solutions to cardiovascular issues, right? Well, this is a conference. It's called, it's already running in its fifth year last year, and it started way back in 2010. Remember, Jeunesse started in 2009, and the first conference, international conference on the main compound of reserve, which is called resveratrol, started in 2010 in Denmark, and then in 2012 in the UK. So it's actually conducted biannually. It's every 2 years. 2014 Hawaii, and then Taiwan, and last year it was actually held in Xi'an in China last year in 2018. So if you look at it, there are myriads, because as I've already mentioned, most conferences, you look at a problem and there are myriads of solutions for that one heart-related issue. In this case, we are looking at one compound and the myriad solutions that it actually has the ability to actually help cover, which is just amazing. It's the opposite, because resveratrol is a huge discovery in the medical field. So how do we replenish the loss of cells? The second way is through the release of our own stem cells from the bone marrow. So if we, and this is the natural process, it's actually happening since the day that we are born. Okay, just like we have an immune system, we have a repair system as well. in our human body. So this is basically what happens. Any particular organ in our body, say if we have a cut, okay, what it's going to do is that it's actually going to send out a cytokine signal, okay, a compound that is going to go into the blood circulation. And once in the blood circulation is the transport mechanism of the human body. So this compound will start to flow throughout the entire human body. And once it comes to the bone marrow, the bone marrow is then going to release stem cells, okay, back into, and more of these stem cells into the blood circulation. So these stem cells are then flowing into the blood circulation. And once it comes close in contact with the area that requires that support, it's going to send out another SDF1 signal, in this case, a stromal derived factor 1. And that in itself is going to attract all these stem cells to that region, to that particular tissue, to that organ. So this will then cause a migration of these stem cells. And once it comes into contact with the tissue, these stem cells are then going to differentiate themselves. They're going to actually multiply themselves, and they're also going to start to differentiate themselves to that particular tissue, to that, forming that organ. And this is the natural repair and renewal system of the human body. So what does Revita-Blue does? Well, it's a botanical blend to support our own body's ability to repair itself. Basically, what it does is that it actually comprises of 4 key ingredients. And why I'm sharing with you about Revita-Blue with regards to from a business standpoint is that, one, it just got recently launched in Malaysia, 28th of April last year. So we've since only launched it in the US, in Canada, and late last year in December, we actually launched it in Japan. And Japan actually hit a 5-year high momentum ever since starting the business, just from the release of Revita-Blue in that market. So if you want to be successful in Jeunesse, you want to leverage on anything new, and especially in this case, what I believe to be the next flagship product in Jeunesse after Reserve and after our supplements is going to be Revita-Blue, because it complements our Reserve, and it has that synergistic complement to the Yes system as a whole, because our Yes system works entirely on the cells. And the more cells that we have in the human body, in our blood circulation, the better repair function that it will be able to do, and also the renewal process along with it. So the 4 key ingredients in Revita-Blue is AFA, which is a Phenazone Manon-Floss Aqua. It's a blue-green algae harvested from Klamath Lake in Oregon in the US. Okay, it's sea buckthorn berry, and it's not just any sea buckthorn. And sea buckthorn has historical medicinal value, for about 1,500 years or so, and basically the sea buckthorn berry actually has a very high polyphenol extract. It actually is harvested from the Tibetan mountains, where they actually have very harsh climate conditions that actually creates this high polyphenol extract. Aloe vera, and there are not any aloe vera, because I know a lot of us consume aloe vera in one form or another as well, but there are 2 known extracts of aloe vera that does this specific function that I've just described, and also beta-glucan. So the key word for Revita-Blue is renew. Okay, it essentially supports the existing somatic cells by releasing new cells into our blood circulation that would go on to support any tissues or organs that requires the support from the release of that SDF1 signal that I mentioned earlier. So Christian Drapo is the key person, and he's the inventor of Revita-Blue. He has degrees in neurophysiology from Montreal Institute, Neurological Institute in Canada. He's a pioneer in stem cell nutrition. He's actually appeared on many international and national TV programs. He's published countless papers in this field, in the area of stem cell nutrition. He's written many books as well on stem cell nutrition. And the latest is cracking the stem cell code. So for those of you that really want to get into the meat, okay, but still being understandable, make sure you get a copy of Cracking the Stem Cell Code. Okay, it's an amazing book. So this is the paper that just got published on the 4th of February, Rapid and Selective Mobilization of Specific Stem Cell Types After the Consumption of a Polyphenol-Rich Extract from Sea Buckthorn Berry in Healthy Human Subjects. It's written by Christian Druppel, Benson, and Git Jensen. Okay, so the conclusion for the paper, and okay, whatever I'm sharing today, please do not put it on social media, because there are a lot of information that have yet to be published, and we need the time for it to be published before we officially announce them. So for the conclusion of this particular paper is the consumption of sea buckthorn berry, the polyphenol-rich, resulted in selective mobilization of stem cell types involved in the regenerative and reparative function of the human body. Sorry, Sammy, could you do us a favor of turning your audio off, please? Thank you. Your video? Thank you. So essentially, by taking Revitablu, just from AFA alone, within the first hour of consumption of the afenizone menopause aqua, it's going to actually release 30% more adult stem cells, about 7 million more stem cells into our blood circulation. And by consuming the aloe vera in particular, and this is the specific species of aloe vera, the specific extract of aloe vera, it actually starts to increase it by also 30%, but it actually stays in our blood circulation for much longer as well. So the original formulation was just based on AFA. Now we have not just aloe, which just does this function, but with sea buckthorn berry, it actually increases it by an additional 40%. It translates to about 10 million more adult stem cells into our blood circulation, which is just amazing. Because as I mentioned, these are the natural renewal and repair system of the human body. What beta-glucan does is that if you look at it, it actually takes a dip. The number of stem cells actually starts to drop. And the reason why it drops is that it actually supports the migration of the adult stem cells that are in our blood circulation to support it to migrate out into the tissues and organs that requires the support that I already mentioned earlier. So this full combination of the different compounds that we have in Revitablu works tremendously, and today it's the best product that you can take to actually support the natural renewal system of the human body. So don't just take my word for it, because this is what comes from the clinical observation from New England. The bone marrow stem cells constitutes the natural renewal system of the human body. So remember, we want to actually balance that loss of cells to actually have that wellness. The loss of cells with the replenishment of new cells through the process called mitosis, and also through the process of the release of new adult stem cells that goes on to support the loss of cells. So just imagine, we are in a battle. We are fighting oxidative stress. We are fighting glycation. We are fighting inflammation in the human body. This leads to the loss of cells. So when our cells are healthy, when we consume a product like, say, Reserve, it actually is going to actually help defend and keep all our cells healthy, the somatic specialized cells as well as our stem cells. When they are healthier, they are able to replicate more. So we are going to be able to, it's like our frontline soldiers, okay? The healthier our soldiers are, the better they are going to fight the aging process, the battle against the aging process. So with the synergistic complement now that we have in Revitablu, because we've not had any other product like this in our YES system, whereby we actually tap into the actual, renewal system of the human body, the repair system of the human body. And this is where Revitablu comes in. And the key word for it is that it starts to release more of these soldiers, if you like, the adult stem cells into our blood circulation, that goes on to support those existing frontline soldiers that are fighting the aging process. So the more these two in combination it actually releases more stem cells, more cells into our body, that actually helps us create that balance between tissue renewal and cellular loss. So this is actually how we stay healthier, and this is actually how the two products work synergistically. They do not overlap in any way in that sense, because they actually have different functions, but they complement each other so well to actually help maintain health. So how does it support our existing Yes system, as well as, say, our luminance range that was introduced to by Dennis earlier as well? So if you look at luminance, it's actually based on stem cell technology, which is the growth factors in this case. So growth factors are the communication language used by skin cells. So the more skin cells that we have, the healthier they are, and the more of them that are replenished through the stem cells, the better they are as well with regards to keeping us looking younger and healthier. So likewise, the product actually works fantastic with NARA that is going to be released, that works on our collagen. And there are essentially 16 types of collagen, but there are two types that actually works. 90% of it resides in our body, which is type 1 and type 3. Here again, all these products that we have in our Yes system complements each other, and they work synergistically together to help us not only look young, but also, as I mentioned, more importantly, to feel young as well. So go out there, consume the products. I hope this brings you greater confidence in terms of what we have, but also more importantly, what this opportunity has to offer. Because as I mentioned, we got the product launched in Malaysia in September 28 last year. So it's already starting to spread into US, into Canada, and just got started in Japan. And Japan hit its momentum in the month of December with the launch of ReVitaBlue. So how do you take advantage of ReVitaBlue? Because perhaps it hasn't quite reached your market yet, right? So make sure that you come up to speed with what ReVitaBlue does, okay? Start marketing it. You can actually get your team excited about the products, no matter where in the world, because we are already in 150 plus countries. In Jeunesse is already in 150 plus countries. So make sure you have this knowledge and have that first mover advantage to actually introduce ReVitaBlue and introduce what we have in Jeunesse to support life transformation, to be a blessing to people around the world. So with that, I hope that you found value and you have a better understanding in terms of what we have, especially with Reserve and ReVitaBlue and how they complement each other very, very well. Okay, so take this knowledge and share it with the world, and make sure you capture the next momentum that is going to hit your country when ReVitaBlue launches next in your country or in your region. With that, thank you very much. Goodbye and Happy New Year again. Bye-bye.
If you see something for yourself, get back to the person who shared this video with you. And don't forget to subscribe to the official USGS YouTube channel to receive future videos.